What's going on, guys? Big welcome to you all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta and you are here with D-Boy. In this video we will talk about what most of us from Crushing the Meta will do with their decks, clans that they play right now in Standard and Premium. Some people are asking me like, yo D-Boy, will you quit the game? What will you do? Will you sell your decks? Because we see lots of people on Facebook or other formats that are selling their decks, that are what's the reason that they are doing so, and what's happening right now in the game of Vanguard. Well, of course we all know that we have the new D format coming up, so there could be lots of reasons for people to sell their decks. One of the reasons is that they think that V would still be played less and less and less, and then it will die, and they would rather have their money than cards that they could never sell later on, and because of that they actually want to sell their decks right now. Some other people are quitting the game, which happens a lot when big changes happen, and some other people are just saying like, yo, these are clans that I don't want to keep, so I just sell them so I have my value of my collection right now, and later on I could buy them back or buy cards from overdrafts. Well, I could not tell you what you should do with your cards because they are your cards, but what I could tell you is what we will do in our group, what most of us are doing, and what I advise you to do. So in Vanguard you have two different kind of players. You have a player who plays the game and enjoy 1, 2 or 3 clans, and that's it. They just play those clans. And I could give an example, which, let's say one of our players who plays, let's take me for an example. It's easier to talk about me than somebody else. I could do that, but it's maybe unfair. So let's talk about me. I play 5 different clans, and all 5 clans are clans that I really enjoy playing. What's the reason why I play 5 different clans is because sometimes when people play against me with time, they just don't want to keep playing against Spike Brothers, and they want to play something different. Because up to me, I play Spike Brothers all day long, every day of the week, for whatever time I will keep playing this game, until the game dies. So if it's up to me, I would keep playing the same clan, but it's also nice for my friends when they want to play against something different. There is something different to play against, and that's why I picked up other clans. Clans that I play are Mega Colony, Nubatama, Kagura, Dark Regulars, and of course Spike Brothers. So 5 different clans, which I could divide into 3 decks in Premium and 3 decks in Standard, because I play Spike Brothers in Standard and in Premium. So when the D format will come out, the decks that I play in Standard will stay in Standard, because those decks will keep getting support once or twice a year, and I will still love to play them in Standard. The decks that I play in Premium will also still be the decks in Premium, because everything that we get from D or V that I could use for those decks in Premium, I will get as well to support those clans, which is really not much. It's still okay. Maybe at the start of D you have to get a lot, but not everything you get in D will work in Premium in those particular decks, so I will be good to go. And of course I'll pick up the Dark State as a whole nation, because I could use everything for spikes, and of course I could use stuff for Dark Regulars as well. So that's nation is perfect for me. And if I would pick up another nation, mostly it would be smart for me to pick up the Dragon Empire, because then I could support Nobutama and Kagura. But some of those clans I only play in Standard, so I don't really need to support those. So you have to make... Now I come with the advice. That's for the player who plays certain clans and love them. Then you have the second kind of player who actually play the decks that are the best in the current meta. So when Luard was top dog, they played Luard, and then after that came Golds, and they played Golds, and now Golds got hit, so they play Angels because Angels top dog. So what happens right now? They are currently selling and buying new decks, so when D comes out, they will sell their Gabriel deck and buy the best deck in D. So for those players, nothing really changed, because they keep changing their decks. But what did change is for people who actually love to play standard and they think standard will not get enough support. I think standard will still get enough support because it's still once or twice a year. As long as you didn't play royals or something that gets support almost every set, you're okay. If you played a clan like, let's say Tochikazi, okay, maybe Tochikazi is not the best choice, but let's say Narukami, then you already get once or twice a year support. This is the same. You will get once or twice support and you could still play the format that you love, which is standard. What happens in D, you will pick up the Dragon Empire and you will play that, so now you will have to support 2 formats. If you also play premium, then you have to support 3 formats, which is a little bit much, but again, with time, people will start playing D more than V, and V will die a little bit. Premium will never die because premium will still be the clan or the format that people play because they like the fact that it's so diverse, and it's also very chaotic, and you will have a different mechanics that you could play at one. And with the new D, the premium format will become even more chaotic. So now we come to the part where I give you advice. If you have lots of decks, keep the decks that you enjoy the most, because you have to look at V as a less competitive format and more of a fun format. So let's say that you have 5 decks. You have Narukami, which is, let's say that you are playing Vanguard. You have Susanoo as an OTT. You have Gabriel as Angels. You also have Spike Brothers as in Rising. And you have one more, which let's say it's Grand Blue Nitros. Okay, so you have 5 decks. Now you have to make a choice of those 5 decks. Let's say you keep 2 or 3. Let's say you keep 2. So it depends. If you only picked up Gabriel because you picked it up because it's the top deck, you could give that up because in time, it doesn't really matter if it's top dog or not. The other clans will take its place. And also, you will be playing more D because D will be more competitive. So it doesn't really matter that Gabriel is the strongest in the V format. So you give a clan up that you only picked up because it was the best. And you will keep clans that you love playing. So let's say that you love to play Susanoo and you love to play Rising and Nitros, then you keep those and you sell the other 2, and now you have less clans to support in your V format. So you could like reserve a little bit of money and use that money to buy stuff from D, and then you pick up the D format. If you really do not want to pick up the D formats, also pretty much up to you. If you don't play premium, then you have one less format to support. I could understand your choice, although I love premium myself because the diversity and the whole different mechanics that you could put together. But yeah, that's actually it. That's actually what I wanted to talk about. So there are different things that you could do, but the best thing to do is, in my opinion, is to focus on the clans that you love. So I myself have binders behind me in different colors that if you want to, I could showcase in another video. All the clans that I play for the certain format, so let's say Mega Colony, I only play Mega Colony Premium. So I have every card from Premium and Standard right now, so that I could play in Mega Colony to make my deck stronger. So when the D format will come out, I only would pick up cards from the nation that Mega Colony is in for my Mega Colony in Premium. So I will not pick stuff up for the D format because I don't want to play that clan in D. For V, I will also make hard choices that I would say Kagero, which is Blade Master, I will only play that in D, and in V. So I will keep that deck in V. So again, you have to make choices right now that hopefully later on you would not regret. But about value, most of the time, the start of a format, new format or a reboot, the value will go down because this is something that we know from the past experience when the first reboot came in. And me myself, I'm a trader. I trade a lot. Now, not that much. I trade I don't trade at all. I give cards that are not from my clans to my friends if I have some leftovers, and otherwise I will only buy cards that are from my deck. So I don't even open booster boxes, but some others, like we have Sparkles, of course, who support his whole clan, because again, Bruna has everything in a case, so he buys a complete case and a sneak, and he will have everything for his clan, and he enjoys it. So he will, of course, sell nothing from his collection, because it's like a picture, it's like a photo album. You really love to go through those, and that's why I have everything in binders. So again, my tip for you guys will be: keep clans that you love, sell clans that you only picked up because they were strong, and try to play the 3 formats, but for certain clans. For people who enjoy 1 or 2 clans, like one of my friends, Martin, saying, he enjoys to play DP and only DP. So he plays DP in Standard, DP in Premium, and he will also pick up DP in D. Only the DP deck that you could make out of that. Alright, that's actually it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that this did help you a little bit to feel more like hyped about the new format. Me, myself, I'm very hyped. Us from Crushing the Meta, we don't really have that much of an issue because most of us have certain clans that we enjoy the most, and we will keep playing those. Even in D, we will see cards that are very Glen Blue-ish, and we will see cards that are very Great Nature-ish, and you definitely will be able to separate those 2 clans in the same nation to build this or that, and you don't really have to play the fluffy Grade 3 main Grade 3 in your Grand Blue deck if you don't like to do that. If you like, just mix them up. If you don't do it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in our channel. Thank you for giving us all the support that you do. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like, and enjoy more of our content. Until next time.